Let's head to Australia then, shall we? Who we've been naturally hearing from a lot over the last couple of weeks. We started charting this back in September when these bushfires properly started. They have raged throughout the summer in that part of the world, got worse and worse and worse. It's almost impossible to comprehend the size of them, really, and the square footage that they cover, beyond saying really that it's greater than the size of the United Kingdom. What we're also trying to do this week is hear from some of those people on the front line, affected by it and battling against it. Yesterday we heard from Natasha, who's been displaced from her home in Melbourne. Hearing her describe how her life has been turned upside down was absolutely heartbreaking yesterday, wasn't it? Let's speak to somebody who's on the front line of battling against them. Trent Maxwell is a lifeguard and firefighter. He's quite prolific, actually, online. He is battling those fires in New South Wales. Trent, hello, good morning, good afternoon.
Hey, how are you guys? You good?
Very well, thank you. I'm good. Can you just explain, Trent, where exactly you are?
Yeah, so currently I'm near Bondi in Sydney, New South Wales, Australia at the moment.
And how's that part of the world being affected by the fires?
Yeah, so I'm a full-time firefighter for Fire and Rescue New South Wales, and my fire station is the City of Sydney. And we've got 5 trucks at our station, and the last couple of months, most days throughout the week, our trucks have been sent all around Sydney, to the south, to the north, to the west, to battle these bushfires that are infringing on the outer skirts of Sydney.
Watching these pictures on the news, Trent, it just looks utterly, utterly devastating. Can you give us a bit of a indication as to what your daily life is like at the moment?
Yeah, so I'm a city firefighter. We respond to various incidents around the Sydney city area, range from car accidents to house fires and building fires and rescues and stuff like that. But when these events happen, over the years with the odd bushfire, we go and help out the rural communities, especially around Sydney and up towards Newcastle and down towards Wollongong on the south coast. In the last couple of months, it's been pretty bad. In the last 2 weeks, it's been really, really bad. Like I was saying before, they've been sending out trucks most days whenever the fires flare up to certain spots or certain communities. In the last month, we didn't realise it's going to be as bad as what it becomes. So it's not just New South Wales that's on fire, it's also Victoria, South Australia, Western Australia, parts of Queensland. Currently, just even today, we had a bit of rain yesterday, but just only a little bit. But there's still 130 bushfires burning in New South Wales alone. A lot of people that probably listen to the show that have been to Australia. It's a big country, yes. And there's a lot of people that live around these areas that have been affected. And, just 3 weeks ago, before it all really, really kicked off, we got called to a few bushfires down south out of Sydney. And, as we're going there, we're getting red messages saying that, houses are getting lost by the minute. Pull up into the street and, it's so bizarre. Our job's to put out the odd house fire here and there. But when you driving to a street and you've got 40 houses that are burning in front of you, you're kind of stuffed in a way because, a lot of these places don't have hydrants or static water supply. So you're only carrying 2,000 litres in your truck. So you have to really, pick and choose or protect what you can with the little water that you have on your truck.
Mm. And this is something that you do, as you say, day to day. I mean, but how overwhelming is that to walk onto a street and to see 40 houses on fire?
We're trained to put out fire, and when we get the odd house fire in the city area, it's like any other fire station around the UK and stuff, it's our job. You get the stock standard house fire that you go, you search for people that are in there, you put the fire out, you try and protect the exposures. But when you're driving down these streets or you're driving down this bushland, you got multiple, not just talking about one or two, we're talking about multiple houses alight, and knowing that, there's nothing you can really do but try and stop it. But, it's so fierce and so ferocious. These fires are so big, it's nothing like we've ever seen before. And it's not just one fire, it's multiple fires all around the state. So, there's places that are burning that have been impacted, but we just haven't got the resources and the capabilities that, you can't be everywhere.
Are you just at breaking point now?
I wouldn't say we're at the breaking point. I'd like to say, we're our Aussie spirit's pretty strong. I just come off shift this morning. I got the day off today. I'm back on shift again tomorrow. You said before, I'm a lifeguard down at Bondi. At the moment, I just rang Hoppo and I said, mate, as you know how bad it is, my name's down for overtime for the next 5 or 6 days after my days off. So, everyone that can and is available is putting their name down for overtime and willing to jump on a truck on their days off and go and help, because, it's one part doing the fires and putting it out, but, going through after the fires have gone through and doing the building assessments and seeing how much, buildings have been impacted and people are missing, and, you're going through the cleanup as well. So, it's not over. We're only a month into summer. Still got another 2 months of summer. Even though we had a little bit of rain yesterday, it's nowhere near enough to put them all out or put some of them out. So there's still a threat towards the end of the week. It's going to be high 30s, early 40s degree heat come the end of the week again. So, who knows, they flare up again, or it could be new spots, because these systems are forming their own storms. And when the storms come through, they're, lightning and stuff like that, and they're actually causing more fires by just, the lightning hitting the ground and then causing more fire. So you're constantly dealing with it. But
is there a growing sense of helplessness, Trent?
Like I said, I like to think our spirit as firefighters and as a community, we're pretty strong. We're trying to get through it, and we're trying to help as many people as we can. But, you can only do what we can, and what we're doing at the moment, we are trying to stop them or slow them down or put them out. But yeah, like I said, it's only a month into summer. We've got another 2 months of it, and the support from the people in the UK, all around the world, the Australian communities that haven't been affected but are giving so much, and it's amazing to see, because a lot of people are starting up, donating to the wildlife, donating to the communities, donating to victims, donating to the firefighters, which is awesome. It's all going to good places, but we still got a little bit of a fight on our hands, and it'll be interesting to see, come autumn when things start to die down, we get a little bit of rain, hopefully. Bushfires is one thing, but we've also been in a drought for the last 2 years too. So a lot of these places that usually have a static water supply, like a dam or a lake or a river or a creek, they're all dried up. Some of them are dried up, so there's no water to actually fight the fires. So it's kind of a real bizarre thing. It's a real struggle.
I'm trying not to be too glib when we cover this, Trent, but how does it feel to walk into a raging bushfire?
Well, anyone that hasn't dealt with one or seen one, it's quite, it could be in the middle of the day and then everything's just black. It's like the middle of the night. The sun's blocked out, so it's pretty much dark. You can't see. You need to have a flashlight or a torch. You need to be driving with your lights on in the fire truck. Obviously the thick smoke, and then you're adding in just normal bushfire smoke, which could be some, classed as clean smoke, from wood and leaves and stuff like that. But, you're losing houses and you're losing buildings and structures as well. So smoke that off gas from that is toxic. So, you're constantly dealing with the toxic smoke, the heat. It's a scary thing. And, some of these communities, like I said before, have already been suffered so much through these droughts. The water supply is just not as sufficient as it has been over the years, and the bushfires that we're experiencing, there's been the old one, probably similar size and ferocity, but so many burning at the same time is the problem. The resources are far stretched.
How safe do you feel?
Our firefighting practices, we train hard. As I'm a permanent firefighter, so 13 weeks of training initially when you join up to become a firefighter. We're always training. We're always trying to stay on top of things. Being City of Sydney fire station, it is quite a busy fire station. But our firefighting practices are put into practice a lot, and we train a lot. And when we train, we prepare for these disasters, these situations, and in a way, it's good because we can put into practice what we've been training to do for so long. I've been a firefighter for 4 years, and all this training and all this stuff that we spoke about has kind of been put into practice. So, in a way, we're prepared. The crew that I'm on sea platoon in the city, we're a great shift. We work well together. Not just the community and the team that I work with as a firefighter in the city, but working with other firefighters elsewhere. You've got firefighters from all over the state fighting together to get the end result by looking after people. Lives comes first, and then property, and then the environment. So, and it's just really sad to that it's all just gone off at once.
Yeah. And look, there's obviously a physical demand on you, Trent, and your colleagues, but also, and I don't want to put words in your mouth here, but also there must be a level of, you talk about, some of the things you're witnessing there, a level of emotional torment that goes with this process.
Oh, definitely. A week before Christmas, I was protecting houses that people were leaving notes on their doors saying, "Please save my house. It's Christmas," or "before Christmas." I have vivid memories because it's all, in the heat of the moment, you're trying to do as much as you can. But I had moments where we put up to this house and there was kids' bikes and there was this guy's boat that was like right up next to the bushland, and the fire was coming through. We knew we had it about 5 or 10 minutes before it came through, so we moved all the kids' bikes and the people's boat up in the front yard, so we could protect the house and protect the kids' bikes and all that stuff. So little things like that. Kids didn't lose their bikes, they didn't lose their boat, and they didn't lose their house. But just little things like that. It comes with an emotional thing where this is a real thing. This is people's livelihood. Power of social media. I put a photo up of the house that we saved a week before Christmas, and someone tracked me down saying, "Oh, that's my cousin's house." And we got chatting to say thank you so much for saving the truck and the house. That's our livelihood. That's everything we've worked for. So like little things like that. You don't know who you touch, but the beauty of the job, you don't do it for accolades, you don't do it for the pat on the back, you do it just because it's our calling, it's what we do as firefighters. We're there to help in people in need, and it's always good just to see that little bit of someone saying, "Oh, thank you," which we don't look actively looking for it, but it's always good to get a pat on the back sometimes when it's just a completely random person that you don't know who you're helping,
Is it keeping you awake at night?
Well, we work 24-hour shifts, so I work 24 hours on, 24 hours off, 24 hours on, 5 days off. So I just come off a 24-hour shift this morning. I got today off, then back on shift tomorrow. So it's currently 2:30 in the afternoon here. It's probably throwing you off a bit. But, so I've got all night tonight off, and then I'm back at 6:30 tomorrow morning, and then we're on for another 24-hour shift. So when, we get to sleep overnight after 10 p.m., but, if the bells go or if there's a massive threat or an emergency through the night, then, we wake up from the bells and we go down, we're out the door within a minute. So,
good Lord, Trent, that's astonishing, absolutely astonishing. Look, there's been quite a lot of criticism across the spectrum and across the country and across the world, actually, of your Prime Minister, Scott Morrison, and his handling of this situation. Is that criticism that you share?
Nah, so I try and stay away from all that because, it's not my forte, the old politics. I just put the uniform on and do my job, and I rip in, mate. That's always been my motto. If it's a firefighter or a lifeguard, I'm always there to help, no matter who it is. So, whatever's going on behind closed doors or up top, they can sort it out. But I know that every time I put the uniform on, I'm giving 110%. My crew's giving 110%. Fire and Rescue New South Wales are giving 110%. The volunteer firefighters are giving 110%. The community and the people that want to help are giving 110%. So, I know on the ground people are doing their best, and that's all. That's what I see. So I can only speak highly of the spirit, the Aussie spirit, in around Australia at the moment.
Forgive me for pushing, but do you feel supported though and resourced with what you need?
Like I said, we have capabilities and we have certain equipment. We could always deal with more stuff, but at the moment, I rock up to work. We have water, we have refreshments, we have bits and pieces to be able to protect ourselves and members of the community. So I'm quite fortunate. Our fire station's very well, not looked after, but we look after our PPE, and we make sure we carry all the necessary essentials to be able to carry out the jobs efficiently.